Hold on. Before you get pulling on the gun. I'm fourth. Seventh. Could you grab my bag? I want to take these over. It's over back over yonder. It's a light green bag.
You don't have the people down, right?
Yeah,
Harold?
Lord Sutan Blood Axe.
Sutan, that's a cudgel. The whole thing's deadly.
Victor! Keep quiet until you hear.
He finally got it right.
Hit him. Any way.
No glancing. It's not a glancing weapon. Just hit him. Hard as you can. My lord, are you ready? All right. Down carry this over. You want to keep this out the front end. Right? That way if he comes for here.
No, keep your shoulders back.
Yeah.
Like this.
Now when he comes to hit you, you intercept his base with his shield. Then you try to hit him. Carry his shoulder. I only want to tell you.
Yeah. And put this and
This way, that way. It's all the 3 punches you need.
Thank you. I might need it later on here. I think
Victor, Lord Gunther von Volomir, Squire to Duke Inman.
Sean. Sean, flip it this way. I guess maybe not as much up. I don't. No way.
No way.
No way.
hit him some more.
What's up? I hired you to work.
No.
Talk big, small, hard, lie about it later.
They will.
You know our rules of battle, don't you?
Victor, his grace Master Jonathan the opposite.
I'm sorry.
The field.
You ain't just a kid.
Viscount Gordon McCullum, Knight of Von Stior, and Martin of Oxford, please make ready.
Not ready already. For the hound. For the hound. Okay.
That's for the answer.
Previous one.
He dropped to his knee and hit him. So pretty. Ooh, pretty.
Left-handed front.
Hit him again. Hit him harder.
You're welcome.
Both to hit each other harder. Come on, strike. Kill.
That's hard armor.
Okay, see Steve back here. Either one of them. Play with it back there. Casey, no!
Victor! Ron Sugar McLaughlin!
There's an opening for it. Luke's the most worthy opponent. Lay off!
Oh, you know what? He's out there fighting by him. Thor knows where to get that now.
Dora knows where to hit most helms.
Don't be afraid of that belt attack.
There's going to be a leg taken in just a second here.
Go for it.
Don't hit the shield. Yeah.
Hit him.
Through me.
Inside his helmet.
He was just there. There you go. He moved so quick. I'm not real worried about him yet because he's only been on a second. You know?
Victor! Viscount John McCollum, Knight of Unsealed!
Very good.
Lay off!
He's 6'2". Wait your time, Chris. Wait your shot.
Put it in the way. Move it into the way.
Victor! Relax, Bubba!
Oh! Out there. Give you one on. You know why? Here we are.
Oh man, I hope he holds his arm out like that when they fight you.
I'm going to. Field battle at Penzer.
Lay off!
Yeah, he lost his leg and I had lost mine, and I was with a bunch of guys. You know how in massive battles, people that lose legs group together and form a little turtle. We came over and we were fighting each other. He got me in the championship.
That reminds me of way back when we had the Great War of Vaudeville.
I'm making announcements. In this field, you have to tell me what you want, and then they'll have a herald announcement.
Victor! Keep going!
Yeah. And I need to give you my information. If you have any problems or anything, just let me know. Thank you for the pouch. Oh, yeah, I was going to come and thank you. We didn't know what to do with the high C things. That was looking mundane, so then we made little pouches for them. It worked out well too. They look so cute.
I should have danced around on you a little more. I'm working on it, you know. Oh, thanks for the advice.
Next one, we gotta watch on these guys fighting. I had no idea. I was just out there. First, my instinct was to box with my arm. There's the lady. I'll be here.
Well, I wanted to stay away from you.
You didn't want to put him down.
No. Yeah. I was going to try to stay forward.
You got win the tournament or the melee or both?
Hip kills, yeah, that's right.
I'm not going to him on that. Thank you. Christina.
I was beginning to wonder.
Don't let Gunther fall on him!
Here it is.
Can you blame him? Can I fall? For the fish, for the fish.
Rebecca is not here.
This one's right here.
Grabbing my blade.
He used his hand.
Foul. Do it again. Are you?
Come on, brother. I knew the table doesn't quit. Oh, I sure do. I forgot.
So did I. That's my favorite.
I just glad you remembered. I walked out the window.
That's true. And he said that I'm within 30 hours of my degree. I can't move.
At least you can't move right now.
There's right out of that
Emma
jealous on Thursday.
Clankety clank.
Yeah, I sound like a sardine.
Did you? This is a trip.
Tell me about it. I never done it. Did you get him earlier?
You saw me out there. He hit me one time in the head, he hit me 2 times in the head. You want real strong blows, I said.
What the Gunter got going on?
But it would mean a lot of dramatic death.
My leg's getting tired.
Down on knees.
I wish I didn't have to here. I wrapped up.
Okay, honey?
Oh yeah, there was.
Any left?
You know Diane real well. Oh yeah, there's this time. Like when Inman falls down on the list, everybody runs out to get it. I had a short time ago.
That's at the controller's office. It's not here. Lindsay's report. She's fine, by the way.
Oh. Well.
Oh yeah, I do want to see this. Yeah.
Lisa tells Shannon that she has to make sure Casey doesn't hurt herself. Lisa. Casey tell her she's not going to get paid. Gotta walk through it. Take care of that.
Two weapons.
Good. I haven't seen you fight in a while. You've been practicing, huh?
Victor, his grace, Master Jonathan DeLoftus.
My shield, brother!
Party. Let's see.
Lord Charles, his grace, Master Jonathan, please take the field.
Nothing
Store Vic for a couple of weeks. With a couple of guys. That was a good one.
Michael Roberts, you're going the wrong way!
I don't know if Ward has asked everyone to take
Aye. No. I'm back. No, my lord.
Why don't we look later on when everybody brings their stuff back? It's a great find. There's nothing in it right now. Yeah, we'll look later. We'll walk
Sarah! Sarah! Come here, honey. Come on, Mama.
There's a trick about doing this if you can do it.
Daddy, go bring these over by
uptake.
How about that? Yeah. Well, believe it or not, the French got it from the Basques. The Basques in Spain. They cheese. I don't believe. Pardon?
I know he's not married to a guy. That's your place. Lay on.
Thank you. They took our money. Sergey said, we have a site, we have this, we have that. Well,
Victor, Viscount McCollum, native on Spure.
Come on, don't blink.
Your name, Gunch.
Alright. Yeah, that's my toy.
Blood makes grass grow. Blood.
That's my one
makes
ended
grass grow. Blood makes grass grow. Blood makes grass grow. Blood makes grass grow. Blood makes the grass grow. Blood.
Victor, what?
You're too quick on that, Asgore.
I think Casey got hurt and so we bring him here. He's trying hard, but it's hard for a 7-year-old to have a little bit of responsibility.
Come on, man, you do this job too.
Daddy says say that.
I never made her watch Sarah, so you know, this is neat for her.
Come back with me.
I think she's liking it though.
Yeah, Ollie.
Yeah, she's bringing him in.
Come on, Grant. He tried to jump on the stairs, but he jumped. And he
Conlon!
And he fell, Grant.
Silly.
I had no idea.
Come over there.
Hey, quiet!
Oh! No! There is no hole!
No, because it's double weapon.
Double weapon.
It don't matter, she has two weapons.
But she had no gauntlet on the hand.
Just keep it. Keep it on the fight.
Is it on now?
Yeah.
Green light on inside?
No, it's on.
Okay. Green light's on it.
When it's done, there's a little button up here you gotta push.
Okay.
Put it on.
Are you ready?
No, we're leaving.
She ain't dead? She...
Gauntlet! Gauntlet! I'll accept that. Toss the fellas from this way. Will. You know, I just saw something. This one real felt. Are you ready? Phrased it that way.
Here, sweetie. Bye-bye. It's okay, and she could go. Now she's gone.
Okay, there's a little red button. See it? Point.
Fine stance, Will.
That's like the seal. Right.
down.
Come on, Trevor, get him.
Broken weapon.
Set from in between.
Well, I went with the fast mace. It's a little wide. You have your hand blade to counteract the quickness of your falchion. I went with the light mace. That's also one of the reasons why it was light. You know, not only is it going, it's a light mace.
I call a real light mace. It would have been enough if I'd been in real home to give me a good headache, but I don't think it
Stood there.
You didn't see where that
Can you scratch your back? That's what he did to me when I smashed my shoulder.
No problem. This is what two-handed weapons were made for.
Set your... Can I borrow this one?
Yes, you may.
Set right there.
Oh, well,
I'll be right at the end of the...
oh, I'm fighting like round after this.
Would you yield? I'll be way at the end.
Okay. Just set it back here when you're through with it.
I sure will.
It's being used by just everyone.
I know.
Very popular.
There are some people ahead of you, but they know who they are.
I'm not much on have large repertoire of mass weapons.
Yeah, I know. All I have is a bastard sword, a pole, and that's it. I want a single sword. I want two single swords, a bastard sword.
Keep it on tape.
All this, all that.
Anyways,
Oh, well.
let this stand. I need some.
Come on, get out.
I want to show it to Noel. See, there is someone else interested. No, he made me feel like shit. May not be complete, but maybe
Mommy, can you bring a cup to me?
Anyway,
Oh, okay.
he's got real hand over there. So he won't really
Yeah. He usually doesn't hit anyone that's not in armor.
Santa, put it down. I don't mind if he gets a compliment.
She said you...
Okay, sorry. Pardon me.
This child's got some more teeth than she's got in her mouth.
Oh, don't tell me that.
But you know that old 66.
Can I sit there?
I was going to sit there.
Hello.
Arm thyself, and what Hamish kills me, and relaxer. Please make me ready. Marshals,
What's that if you're supposed to be watching him, Charles? You're getting tired?
Lay off.
It was fun.
We can do it again.
Lady, you are a warrior and a rose one more. But this time I have something for you, seeing how you are the first female who has fun. And now he's going to hit you. Paige! Paige!
Now you gotta hold him while you...
No, go across the field. Go around. Oh, okay. They look nicely on my grave, right?
Yeah, I know. I was trying to...
There we go. Oh, company! All right. Isn't that just like Sultan? Give a lady a flower and then hit her.
It's a yearly treat.
The winner, Lord Sultan Blood Axe!
It's underneath the...
You big lady.
Sultan's got it.
Does he?
It's off now. Run in this.
You gotta frame it.
That's a good one anyway.
Let's see here with them.
Agreeable, but...
Watch the bop. Watch the bop.
Are you good? They are.
I haven't been anywhere else, so I have no comparison.
The only comparison I have is visiting nights coming in to SCA. But I'll tell you what, the quality of the average on SCA and Squires is about how you build it.
That hurts.
Victory! To Bayway! Kennedy of Glenfinnan!
Where am I?
What? Would you like a Kyurgin on the field?
March, you need a Kyurgin.
Hello, Doran. So, Doran. No. He likes that.
I want to get some grass.
Back him up.
Did you see the marshal?
You're welcome.
Hey, come here, sweetie. Gotcha. Hold it. No, you should try it. He can't fit himself. You just...
Much.
Look. Stay here.
Finally.
One, King, Squire to Sir and Lord Gunther von Valdemar, Squire to Duke Edmund, pleased to take the field, and with miniature Corvette Axe to arms, and Lady Karina Kulowski, pleased to arm myself.
Lord Squire, stand you ready.
All right.
King McGear Smith, Squire to Sir Ian, and with miniature Corvette Axe to arms, and Lady Karina Kulowski, pleased to take the field.
Weapons and shields. Mason Shield. Okay. Mason Shield, Faustian Shield. All right. Oh!
That's not typical of all the
Victor, Lord, two kids, one out. Two kids and then four. One on the side. Stay away. Stay away.
Crash it. Well, yeah, they put on.
That's what Lloyd said. He said he was beating on his leg.
Victor, Lord William Allen, Alabama. Victor's great master Jonathan.
I know I have to go that way when I go home.
Yeah, I'm extremely full on school.
Well, manager, Corbett, Archleon, and Hamish McCouch, man, please take the field. We still good on this? Well, Lord Gunther von Valdemir and Roak Ball, please take the field.
Give me that damn ox tongue of yours, son. Do I get a please? Please. Thank you. That big one of King should
Well, Lord Trevor, Shalom, and Rohan, Stilgard, McLaughlin, please make ready. They are using axes. Axes.
I was in the middle of it and didn't realize that there was like 4 had ones. Then I was me.
Oh my goodness.
Me and Andy and camera seen it all.
Oh, well.
And somebody on there needs
Already win.
Come on, Sandy.
Almost got this.
Are they allowed to hold? Are they allowed to hold like this?
Yes.
They're going to go home their place and beat them out.
No, that's my job. Where we wrong? That's my job. Don't worry about that.
You're big enough to make it work.
Make it work for it.
They're thinking about the head.
Saying armor and popping back and forth.
Yeah, give me a couple seconds. Damn, yeah,
Victor, Hamish McCouch made by you.
How could Hamish win?
Yeah.
It's okay, man.
Well, Lord Gunther von Valdemir and Roak Bar, please take the field. Well, Lord Trevor of Shilholm and Rohan.
How did Hamish win that one? I don't
Please
understand.
make ready.
How did you win that
For his
one?
great
By
master
you?
Johnson.
He hit me with the hat.
And Viscount Dora McCollum, Knight of Montefiore. Please make ready. They are using salt.
Okay. I couldn't figure out how they did that.
They never did kill me. Did you know that wasn't killed? I watched you did the whole battle. What happened? I got buried under a pile of pre-killed second or third or fourth time, we don't know, outland. They were resurrecting and we weren't. And we still aren't.
Oh, you won't run anymore.
No, just sit there, hit one another.
Somewhere.
Please.
Everybody's still
Come on, push that down. I think it's better.
I've heard guys come off the field saying, I don't understand it. Whenever anyone fights me, they break their sword. You know, I mean, it's like, yeah, they got to hit you that hard. So I mean, you think, wow, you know, I mean, that's...
Well, as I said, that's what the outward I was afraid of the rain.
It's only a flash.
And Forest Boy.
Victor, Lord Gunther von Valdemir, Squad and Duke Inman.
I think you got my arm on that a few times.
Hey, juggler over there is teaching the kids how to juggle.
Everyone still going, McLaughlin! Please!
Yeah.
That's the guy on green, I'm sorry.
That's all right. Hey, man, you know, everybody goes. You hit my arm at that time. Yeah, I think that's what it was. Oh, that was a good throw.
You almost got on me.
Let go, Lord. Driver on show.
Yeah, I'm going to get this arm armor out of the way, and I'll have good stuff. I'll be able to be a little bit more versatile. Right now, I'm not real confident.
Great, stand you ready. Good night, stand you ready. There's the LA.
North Sudan, you beat it down. Yeah, I want to fight it. Or instead of being one
Yeah, I'm just very sorry.
I like this device. This device is neat. I don't know what they call those things. Falchion. My Lord doesn't have one of those things. I just couldn't now figure out what it means.
A falchion, a real falchion looks a lot like a machete.
Machete? Oh, okay. All right. Thank you. Ooh, that sun gets hot on the bed.
But that's essential.
These guys are fun to watch with Florence.
Who's fighting here? No, this is Sir Doran, and I don't know who the other one is. Who? Jonathan. Who's Jonathan? I like watching. Oh! I thought he had like a visor. I guess he's not going to call it.
Lady. Excuse me one minute.
You're doing pretty good out there.
That's one of my second.
Glad that's got space in my head.
You're doing great, then.
I'm learning. These are all new weapons. I like it. I like it. Used to doing us.
Bring your chair over.
Huh?
Bring your chair over.
No, I was trying to say, it's 1 o'clock.
Uh-huh.
And if we're going to eat, we really sort of need to get it done because I'm going to have another tournament at 2. Go watch it. Don't get in front of her camera, Michael.
You think the kids will be able to wait until supper? Good question.
Be careful, Nancy down there. Don't step on Casey.
We'll just let them see how far they go. Because I wanted to go on the bottom. We just forgot the food. We're going to have to supper. I don't know. It's 16 something, but it's still not period. Cheese and bologna will be good, just with the kids to munch on it. That'd be great.
I don't have any bologna.
What do we have?
I don't have any like that at all. Just a couple of pieces of salami is about it. I don't have any.
Peanut butter. I don't care what the kids have. That's why the butter If you want, fine. That'd be great.
Yeah, good.
Yeah. If you're not, I will tell them where you are. And I will. Okay. I heard finish all. That's why my ears going.
Inviting people down to Emerald Turning, and Client Black Star lists on site for $7, so it's incorrect.
Yeah, definitely. Well, what days are these?
It's the 23rd and 24th.
Okay. Is that where it is? Is that the one you're talking about, turning into the ambulance? Yes, that's where we're going. I misunderstood what you said. Yeah, we'll be there. My Lord and I will be there. But I don't think I'm going to be taking the little ones. Little ones are going to be gone since we're only membership on the first weekend. We usually take the kids one weekend and we go to the next.
If they do come, you have to check the rest of these going on. And children's starting on Tuesday.
I have to talk to my Lord when he gets back. He's on their journey right now. He'll be back in Thursday. So when he comes back, I might discuss that with him. When you have children's activities, that's a plus.
We've got several children in the shower and finding some activities.
I have the fine when I wandered off too. Because I need both of them.
My two are the one that's walking that way, the one that's walking like this way. The two girls.
I met them.
Everybody must not back, right? Sure. Shannon, go home and eat. You gotta go home and eat with Kathy. Can I have a kiss? Can you make a sandwich for me? Can you be babysitting? Can you help?
I want a kissy.
Oh, kissy. Okay. You be real good and you help Kathy make sandwiches, okay?
I don't want to go.
So Casey's sleeping. He's fine. And when you come back, we'll be ready for you to babysit him again, okay? You'll get something to drink at home. Remind Kathy to bring something to drink. Tell her Mommy wants you to bring something to drink.
Kind of aerate out before they all cram into it.
That was a long one. One of the longer ones of the day. No,
Well, Blackie wants Silverleaf and keeps quiet as her him.
One squire, stand you ready. Aye. My lord, stand you ready. Aye. Gentlemen, with all honor and chivalry, les allez.
Don't hit him yet, Blackie.
I ain't gonna hit him yet. I'm worried about him hitting me.
Get rid of this would-be son-in-law.
Oh! Short.
Hey!
You ready?
Come on, Ganora.
That's where she did it.
No.
It's the only one. George twice and twice.
She wasn't using this one now.
Like this? Yeah. We're talking about the real fight out there.
No, I don't.
I've got to find
Boy, Jen, stick your elbow out like that when you fight me. Please.
I see you. Now you see that target.
Setting at a desk, storing over the paper, and glass, something like that. Shock and
That's our rookie!
Well, they haven't totally disappeared.
It was round, but out of my head.
Be fine in about 5 minutes as soon as the ring goes.
Oh, she was here for this.
No, it was great. It was nice having her.
I love fighting him. Do you? Good. No, I mean, they put us against each other for 2 minutes.
Yeah.
No dent, you know, you rejuvenate as you go. So just 2 minutes, keep going mace and shield. And one of the fighter practices. We were just both. I just kept didn't have it in my shoe. I just put it in my chest for my shield. And I was just open. It was like I could move, you know.
Stop, stop, stop!
All I did was yell at the fighters. I yelled at the fighter and I got more fighters to sign up.
I have no idea what I'm doing. You get to try that with you. They said we're doing it for those two.
As soon as this match is over,
You guys, you know what? I hate off press like that and marshals like that. They like to help. Wouldn't bother me if Jeremy would too.
well, I didn't know if they wanted to. So,
Need a few male. Oh, employees.
That's
right, we need a few male employees. Yeah, hey. I mean, that's just what it is.
Darn thing wrong with hiring males.
You need to get in shape. You need to drink a lot of liquids. I'm not the tire. Oh, okay. Daughter to the kingdom tire. So stand up there in the shade and get her to drink. Is this like, you might pass out.
What are they doing now? They're doing okay. Are they trying to get a winner here or what?
I guess. That's what you can get for your 50 cents.
That's great.
That's what you can get for your 50 cents. But I have got limited numbers of people.
Open you up.
Spider eats just
Whenever you're fighting with the
Come here!
staying up, we're trying
We could take this, record over this later, this part later. Just take a little recording of the part, practicing.
Which is the way a lot of
Todd, yeah. Todd. We're just recording it.
for doing something. Generally,
They ran almost 2,000.
Were granted to him.
I'm just recording their fire practice. Maybe I'll learn a little bit about each elephant's style. I can record over this again later.
I think the one in the face was good.
I can turn sound
I
off.
figured out and did like that. When you hit, I wasn't sure what it is. Yeah, I know. I did this.
Is he having fun? Or is he getting into things? Honey, can you do me a favor? Give me something to eat. Just whatever you have to deal with. Okay, just a second.
My lady!
Good to the arm. I can only drag that thing back on.
Oyez! Oyez! The boarding competition will begin in 1/2 hour in yon brown building!
We're recording fighter practice.
Very good.
Yeah, good to the left. And I do that, and then I get in there and get in there.
Take it.
Even if I hit like this, here, on your helmet, I'm here, you bring up the shield.
That black and gold trim was nice.
Part of what I'm doing, you haven't allowed me to fight. Part of what I'm doing is I'm countering.
The talent isn't washable.
Okay. Put it down.
Put it over there!
I knew it! I saw some blackness here that goes something for a dress.
Swallow.
I'd like something for a dress.
We're sitting here. I know, it looks like, it looks like geese.
Yeah, and that way it's letter evidence because you can reawaken and no problems with being. But they have a perspective back.
I like this.
Light. Yeah. I don't have any power right now. That's okay.
Everybody, not get behind me. Right there.
Not here for the first contact one?
No, dear, that was when I was in Atlanta.
Oh, okay.
Every once in a while, I think that I haven't been away at all. Then somebody says, well,
I forget you have been. I forget you have been. About to the point of getting rid of one dress. This is warm.
actually, I'm comfortable.
Yeah, see, we have the clown out there.
Good.
This building.
Your shield was over your head.
Last time. I don't know. I'm trying to gather in. This way.
Like the Maryland Stewart carried here.
People were out there saying that my spear is disgusting.
Okay. Is it a compliment or not?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Like this, I had it. I could have kept it.
Got wonderful battles. So I'm going to tell something a little bit different. Some of you have already heard this story. In fact, it seems to be quite a remarkable tale. Once, in a small kingdom not too far from here, in a small shire, there was a tavern keeper and his wife and their pet cat, Splinter. A white spotted cat, beautiful animal. Having no children, the tavern keeper and his wife, everything Splinter wanted. They did everything for Splinter. That was their most important concern in their life. One day they noticed that Splinter was not eating well, and
They became very concerned. And the innkeeper said, well, I'll fix Splinter a special dinner, something that Splinter cannot pass up. So he went into his kitchen and he said, let's see. Well, put some of this, some of this down here, and mixed it all out and was about ready to put it in the oven. He thought, no, wait a minute. This is for my cat. What would the cat like? And he had it. He went and got the special ingredients, put it in, mixed it all up, put a crust on it, put it in the oven. It baked in due time, and he took it out and set it in the window to cool. There was a noise from the front room of his tavern. He went out, in time to see a young nobleman limping in, and he brushed off him the chair, and his wife brought a cool cloth for the bruised cheek, and a soft pillow for the bruise, and he, being a wise man, got a big, tall tankard of cool ale, and then went out to the stable to get the liniment to rub into the bruised ankle. You can imagine his dismay when he returned to find the young nobleman eating the cat's dinner. He took his wife into the kitchen. He said, dear, why? She said, well, he was hungry and he could smell it and it was there and it was fixed and he had to go find. Well, the young nobleman was eating with great gusto. He found this a very delicious dish. So the tavern keeper felt that no harm had been done and went out. Well, in due time, the rest of the nobleman's party, having found the horse, figured the nobleman must be around somewhere close, so they found him in the tavern, drinking ale, having a wonderful time. They collected him, and away they went. And life was wonderful for the tavern keeper, his wife, and Splinter the cat for about a week. Then the king's cook came, for the young nobleman was indeed the king. And he had so enjoyed the dinner, he had sent his personal cook to get the recipe. Well, the innkeeper, being basically an honest man, told him everything that was in it except the last special ingredient. The cook knew no difference. He dutifully noted it all down, and away he went. And everything was fine for about a week, for the tavern keeper, his wife, and Splinter, and then the king came. He sat down at one of the long tables in the tavern, faced the tavern keeper and said, good man, my cook is quite accomplished. 3 times a day, every day, for the last week, we have had a different variation of the meal that you prepare here. None of them has turned out the same. Good man, did you give my cook the right recipe? And the innkeeper, being basically an honest man, said, no. And the king said, good man, why not? It was a family recipe. I swore to my grandmother on her deathbed I would not divulge it to anybody. Well, I understand that, but I am your king. Your Majesty, it was a deathbed promise. I am your king. Your Majesty, just go ahead, cut off my head right there. Go ahead, I cannot tell. Good man, I respect you for your honor, for holding the promise your grandmother made on her deathbed, and for that I will not ask you again. But what I will ask of you, the next time I journey through these parts, would you please prepare the same dish for me? Oh, but Your Majesty, of course, no question. Oh, very happily, they visited a little bit longer, and the king and his party left. And the innkeeper and his wife, Splinter, outside, watched the cloud of smoke disappear on the horizon. And the innkeeper said, but dear, it was not your grandmother died before you were born. What? It's the family recipe? Why wouldn't you tell the king where it was in it? The innkeeper stretched his tummy and bent over and petted Splinter. Dear, would you like to tell the king he'd eat catnip pie?
And I have a story of a battle. Listen, I will ask you who you felt won that battle. Battle of 2 great kingdoms came to meet upon a bridge one day. One of them outnumbered by the others. But yet, they pushed him back. The king broke through and was surrounded in the back. No one followed him through that day. Others broke through. A brave squire took another troop through and died. The shield wall, person by person, fell. I don't know who's in here, but yet, a smaller kingdom advanced down that bridge. But it seemed as though to those that stood on the bridge that day, the enemy would never cease to come. For no matter how many they killed, it seemed like there were more to take their place. brave warrior fell on many a side. Many times the battle was stopped so that the dead and the wounded could be moved out, for nothing could be accomplished when the bodies are piled up this high. For there are those who will not step upon the bodies of the dead or the wounded, whether it be their friends or their enemies. But only in the final bit of that battle did those on the bridge realize why, but not to win. For it came down to from one side there were but 4 left standing. There was 3 knights and a squire left standing upon that bridge. And then another troop came through. But this time they recognized, for by sorcery or black wizardry or whatever, those they had killed did not remain dead. And so it was the last 4 remaining from that kingdom fell. Some wounded, some killed. The squire buried underneath the bodies. Their compatriots killed as they came through. The battle was lost. Or was it? For I ask you, who really won that battle? Those who use wicked arts in order to win a battle? Or those who remain true to the honor of their kingdom, their king, and their banner? Ask me. I know who really won.
To tell a story that I've been, it was kind of made up by my Lord, which is far away right now, and I'm going to see what I can do, okay? So bear with me. Long ago, when the Vikings were great, there was a band of Vikings that raided throughout the land of England, and their leader's name was Ragnar. One certain kingdom that they raided, they raped the king, raped the queen, excuse me. They raped the queen and killed the king. Okay? And during the king's coronation, the new king's coronation, the queen came up pregnant. So she went into hiding. And when Ragnar went back with his many Vikings back to his own land, declared victory and came back with many, many things from England. It came to pass about 20 years later that Ragnar had a slave named Eric, who was taken from an Italian kingdom. Now Ragnar had his own son. His name was Enoch. And Enoch did not care for Eric. He was his slave. So he wanted to kill Eric. He had a very, very hatred towards him. Now Eric was very good in falconry. And Eric knew that Enoch did not like him. So one day when they were out, Eric had his falcon try to kill him. It did not succeed, but Enoch became very, very badly disformed. In England, while this was going on, the king that took over for the king that was killed was to be married. His new betrothed was supposed to be going across the great ocean and to be married to him. Ragnar found out about this, so they kidnapped her. Enoch wanted her for his very own. As soon as they found out that she was going to be going to England, they stole maps. Ragnar went to England and tried to take over. In the process, he was captured, and the rest of his clan went back to his land, and Ragnar was put to death. Now, as any Viking knows, A Viking will not die without a sword in his hand. The king was not going to let him have a sword to die. He was just going to throw him in the pit and say goodbye. That's the end of that. But Eric, knowing that he had lived with the kingdom for so long, with the Vikings for so long, knew that a Viking had to die with a sword in his hand, gave Ragnar a sword. And Ragnar yelled, "Odin, I am yours," and he jumps into the pit of the lions. Thus, because Eric gave the sword to Ragnar, he had his hand cut off, because he went against the king's wishes. Meanwhile, Enoch finds out that his father had been killed and came to raid the land that his father was killed in. And at the very end of the story, okay, his father, he finds out that Ragnar was his father and his mother was the queen, and he had been given up when he was very little. She gave him to the Italian monks, or whatever, Roman monks or whatever, and she, at the end, he finds out that Enoch had been his stepbrother, and at the end, Eric killed Enoch, and Eric, that was the end of it. Eric was a victor. I'm done. I'm scared to death, but I'm done.
For not having memorized my tale. I wrote it several years ago and have not had an opportunity to tell it to an appreciative audience, and this is not guaranteeing that any of you will be appreciative either.
Who, us?
However, as I said, I apologize for having it in hard copy and not having memorized it. The story concerns a young lady, a very special young lady, a princess of the Sealy court, a daughter of Athena She. She pulled herself upward, found a toehold, and reached for a new handhold at the same time. Slowly, carefully, she made her way upward. Her hands grew slick with sweat, and soon, even the band tying back her hair could not stop the rivulets running down her face. She forced herself to lean out away from the cliff face, forcing her toes into a small crack. Had she waited too long? It had been barely light when she started. But the cliff face was warming too fast. Well, it was too late to do anything about it now. She had to go on. Reaching inside, she pulled calm from the core of herself, felt it spread, relaxing. She searched the cliff for the next handhold, then resumed climbing. There, and there, and there, and an easy patch here until she saw the ledge off to her left. She worked her way until she was past and above it, and then dropped lightly onto it. The small spring was no longer there. The area of ledge where it had been carried away in last year's snowslide could be seen. She could hear the soft splash of the water, deep in the fishes. Ah, well, much had changed since she last climbed this ledge. The climb had been easier then. Up a steep path, with a cool spring to quench one's thirst. She sat, feet stuck out into space, unstrapped a small pouch from her waist belt, and unhooked the water skin nestled in the small of her back. She breathed deeply, then ate and drank, as she enjoyed the view. When she was refreshed, she sat for a few minutes. The fruitcake and cheese had left her hands very sticky, and she wiped her hands upon her pants, being more than amused at the childishness of the act, but no less pleased. She stood, stowing her gear, and stepped to the edge. Poised there, she felt the rising heat from the sun-struck rock face. Her timing had been close. It would not be well to be climbing the cliff now, she thought. Gathering herself, she leaped outward, arching her back. Spreading her wings, her forward spread arms helped give her stability as she felt the rush of air. Then she was feeling the currents, banking to the left, in toward the cliff, and out again. Tears stung her eyes for the joy of it. She reached for the rising currents and rose them like her sister hawk. Ah, have a long, lovely ride, until once more she touched the ground.
She'll be back on.
Huh?
She may be back on.
She is a sergeant. I'll tell you a story of a young lady named Philippa. Philippa was not what, by most standards, was a comely. She was as yet unmarried and very lonely. One day she was out riding upon her horse, and she saw a beautiful grassy hill. Upon this grassy hill grew a huge, beautiful, spreading willow tree. She decided to stop there for a while and cool off and let her horse cool. She stood underneath the tree for a moment, then sat down, enjoying the wonderful shade and the cool breeze up the hill. And in the trees, the murmur of the trees, she heard a voice. The voice said, "Don't."
It's only been a year. Almost.
No, you're alone. What is it that you desire? Philippa said, "I desire to be the wife of a fighter. Nothing more would make me happy." And the willow tree said, "Listen to me, daughter, and I will tell you what you need to do. And if you do as I say, great magic will occur. Go forth now and embroider a beautiful cloak of the finest wool. Make it in patterns of roses. And then, when you have done this, show it everywhere you can. Wear it as often as possible. And thereby, you will understand how to make it. And that shows that you may have some talent.
You're right.
That maybe a more comely wench may not have. So Philippa said,
I'm honest about it, darling.
I will try, Willow, and I will go. She left, and after a few months, she returned to the Willow, and she was wearing her beautiful cape. And she showed it to the Willow and said, "See what I have done?" And the Willow said, "Yes, but good, very good, my daughter." Then Philippa said, "Many people complimented me on it, and I really enjoyed it." And Willow said, "It was good. That's good. This is what you want for people to see you. Now, my daughter, go and make a pavilion. Make it of the most beautiful silk, of all the colors of the rainbow." And Philippa said, "Yes, Willow, I will do this." She ran off and she did this. After a few months, she came back, and she brought a few of the scraps so she could show the Willow, and she couldn't bring the whole pavilion. Her horse wouldn't stand for that. She did try. But she came and she showed the Willow. She said, "This is what I made it up, and I did make it. And I put it up, and the people enjoyed it very much, and I had people come and sit with me. And they came and they talked with me, and I made so many friends. But still, Willow, I have yet to meet a fighter who is interested in being with me." And then the Willow said, "Now, take a silver cup, and after fighting has done, go and offer them water wearing your finest clothes. Be as gracious as you can, and be very polite, and let them have water." She says, "Yes, Willow, I will do this." She goes and she runs to do this. And she has a marvelous time at it, surprisingly enough. She was very nervous to begin with, hands shaking and water going through something. And she does this. So she comes back to the Willow. She says, "Willow, I have done this. My fishing. There are several gentlemen who are somewhat interested in me. But what can I really do to make one be very interested in me enough to stay for a while?" Willow says, "Go forth and show them charity. Make a beautiful tunic and give it to some gentleman, perhaps a fighter, perhaps not. Perhaps some new person has yet to really discover what beautiful clothes they wish to wear." Philippa said, "Yes, Willow, I will do this."
you could not see her. Or it wasn't until about a year later that two horses came riding up to the willow. And upon one horse was Philippa. On the other was a tall and very handsome blonde man with striking blue eyes. And with them, a lovely babe, a little boy that had beautiful dark hair and bright blue eyes. And Philippa came back and said, "Thank you, Willow. You have shown me the way to be gracious to people and how to make friends. And I thank you more for that gift than I thank you for anything." But this is one especially for you. I have many kinsmen, and some of them I am proud of, and some of them I am not too terribly proud of. As a Scot, one of my sisters is married to a Saxon. And he, being a Saxon, tells Saxon stories. And he told me this story should be of interest. Because in the Lenten season, we think about Easter. I don't know if you know that, but the name Easter does not come from our Christians, but from the ancient goddess Easter of the Germans and Saxons. And she would come bringing spring, when she would flow down the Rainbow Bridge. And every spring she would come and she would chase the frost giants away. And so people would leave, and spring would come. And when Easter came, then the birds and the beasts that would leave during the winter could come back again. For that was the law of nature. But one spring, Easter forgot. And the winter grew longer and longer. And the ice giants stormed the land, wreaking havoc. And into the lands of the south, one little wren grew so lonely for his world that he remembered he dared to break the law of nature. And that even though Easter was not there, he came back. And he flew. But where was spring? Spring wasn't here. It was cold. And the cold enwrapped him, and he fell to the ground. Now there was a little girl. And her mother and her father and her had traveled looking for things to eat, digging under the snow because it had been hard and cold. And she took it back, and she nursed it, and she fed it with the remaining food that they had. And every night she prayed to the beautiful goddess of spring, "Please remember to come back so that the rains live." And he stood. And with glory and brightness, she came down the Rainbow Bridge, and when she stepped her foot upon our world, the frost giants were banished. Spring came forth. And she came to where the girl and the wren were. But she came stern. For the law of nature had been broken, and the wren had come back. And the punishment for this sin was death. But she could not kill this bird that this girl loved. So she turned it into a hare, so it could never fly again, which was its punishment. But to keep it safe for the bird, she took it back with her over the Rainbow Bridge. And now every year, before she comes, the hare comes down the Rainbow Bridge to tell us that spring is coming. And when it comes, it goes to the little girl and lays a golden egg.
I'm a Northman, and there's certain things Northmen do in their lifetimes. And one of the things I hate to do is farm, because you got to move these rocks. You got to plow. One day I was up just Oxen. Come on. Much better roasted than behind them. They smell better that way, too. What? Visitors coming up the fjord? Boats? That means I don't have to plow. Oh, good. What? They have their dragon's head on? No, they wouldn't raid. They're our friends, just coming to visit. Don't worry. We have nothing here for them. Are you sure they got the dragon's head up? Oh, well. Yeah, I guess I'll go down and talk to them. I'm too old for this stuff. Take the oxen up into the hill. Armor? Yeah, I guess. Give it to me. Heavier nowadays. Ugh. You sure this is mine? It's shrunk. Okay. Oh well. Yeah, I guess I better take the sword too. Yeah, this is my sword. Here's my dinner dagger, right where I left it. It's shrunk too! What did you do to my weapon belt? Here. You arm yourself with this and come with me. Horse? I hadn't ridden in years. What do you mean it's faster? Okay, get the horse. Uh-oh. You expect me to get up there? Where's the stool? You there, help me. Sit down. Brilliant lad. Better get someone else to help too. Okay, you're up there. You come with me. You come with me. You four men come with me. We'll go down to the fjord and see what these guys want. Whoa. What do you mean, get down? Get over here and help me. Thank you. Get off your knees. I'm not that heavy. Quit complaining. Plan? Yeah, I guess we better have a plan. You and you. When they come this way, shut up. When they come this way, you go that way. You three, y'all go that way, and I'll stand here behind. No, that's right. I'm the leader. I stay behind. That way I can tell you what to do. What do you mean you want to follow me? Look, quit being difficult. There they are now. You three go that way. You're not up to center, dummy. Get over there. Watch out for that spearman. Hey, that's a good job. You got that guy. Hey, you're going. I like this. Look, we surprised them. They're leaving. I like this. There wasn't that many. Well, that wasn't that bad. We got some extra armor here now. A little rusty, but we got it. You two dummies, get off that ship. You there, quit cutting a hole in it. Let them leave. Let them leave. We don't need any more mouths to feed. Look, they're leaving. You two, get off the ship. Okay. Now you get off the ship. Can Darren get off the ship? What do you mean you're leaving with them? Go then. Maybe you'll become famous. I won't have to pay you your back wages. Where's my tanker? Good thing I keep it. What are you doing, drinking everything in my tanker again? It's supposed to be full for me. Make yourself useful. Go fill it up. I own this land.
Brought the presence of this image. And he told us to go out among his lands and give him an update on how things were in his Schuylkill land. So, Lord Sutan and I got our provisions, good keg of ale, half of beef, and we set off. Oh, we remembered the horses too. We didn't forget them this time. And after the first day of travel, we decided to stop at an inn for the night. Now this inn was fortunate to have rooms upstairs. And we had been drinking for several hours, and we met these two young damsels that were in need of company. And Lord Sutan is famous for the company he keeps. And while we were enjoying the company of these damsels, their lords walked in. Now these gentlemen were bigger and meaner and tougher and had more armor than Sutan and I together. And we decided that discretion was the better part of valor. And we went upstairs with a keg of ale and decided to wait until the lords left. And while we were sitting there, Sutan asked me to go to the window, open the shutters, and to see if they had left yet, which I did. But unfortunately, the two lords were standing in the middle of the opening in front of the tavern, the inn, and they saw me. And they looked up at me, and they said, "We'll get you, Gunther!" And I knew my life was over. I knew that everything had ended. So, being the type of gentleman that I am, I dropped my drawers, showed them a better part of my anatomy, and they said, "We'll get you too, Sutan!"
There has been a lot of trouble between she and I about our relationship, about me going to Drachenwald, about her having to stay here and educate herself, and about whether I'll come back. And so, in honor of her, I wrote this. It's called Comes Dawn. After a while, you learn the subtle differences between holding a hand and draining a soul. And you learn that love doesn't mean security. And you begin to see that kisses are not contracts. Presents are not promises. You learn to accept your defeats with your head up and your eyes open. You learn to build your roads today, but tomorrow's ground is uncertain. Futures have a way of exploding in your face. And after a while, you learn that even sunshine burns if you get too much of it. So you plant your garden and decorate your soul today instead of waiting for others to give you flowers. And after a while, you live and you learn. With each goodbye, you learn.
All right. Outstanding.
What's he doing?
This man trusts me here.
That man may be the only Olympic-level javelin catcher you're ever going to meet.
Javelin catcher.
Dying breed.
My lord, do you have a patron yet?
Nay,
Would you be willing to accept me as one?
most gladly, as soon as I get out of this tree.
We can hasten that. Sutan, where's your axe?
I'm looking for my tinderbox.
It gives a different viewpoint of war. It gives it from one of my friends. Dusk is about now, moving softly over the field. Daylight gives a final bow, preparing to gracefully yield. Over all, there's an acrid smell of smoke, and beneath, that of blood, coppery and hot. Death, wearing his heavy midnight cloak, stalks the warriors, making his choice of life. For here today there was a mighty battle, over a now trivial, meaningless thing. Trading outlanders to Squire Lawson County. What bard will tell of this proud thing? Bardcraft is not my gift, nay. But I will tell this tale to all. I'll tell of the horrors I've seen this day, and then weep bitter tears into my shawl. For I am a healer, that is my grace, direct from the mother to me. Whether from a fever or a flying mace, I know pain cease to be. This long weary day I've spent running from one fallen fighter to another, sending a wounded man to the Kyrgian's tent, rocking a dying lad as he calls for his mother. My gown is stained with wasted lives, my supply of earth and hope is depleted. What was the living till the morning light? Those faith they were to be defeated. Against that in anger I rail. 'Tis not meet to kill each other. Listen to the dying wail. One of them could be your brother. Of what use is foul war? Do we need to lose our men? Death already takes his share and more. Must you act as his friend? Put sweet life delightful and wild. What an utter wonder to behold, from the birth of a wee child till age softly religious soul. Must you end life without reason? Worse still, why cripple and maim? Let nature guide the season. Life should be rich, full of delights, not pain and hate and torment. But foolish men, you will continue your fights. So this is the courageous
An honor to something that I'm seeing happening that I think is wonderful. Almost with every turning, larger and larger percentages of those who take the field are of the fairer sex. I wish to remind all the fairer sex to be very mighty indeed. Deep into the stony hills, far from town or hold, a troop of guards came riding with a lady and her gold. The lady rode bemused among them, shrouded in her cloak of fur, companioned by a maiden and a toothless, aged cub. Three things see no end: a flower blighted ere it blooms, a message that miscarries, and a journey that is doomed. One among the guardsmen has a shifting, restless eyes, as he scans the hills that rise to meet the skies. He wears a bracelet and a sword worth more than he can afford, and hidden in his baggage is a heavy sword. Of three things be wary: the feather on the cat, the shepherd eating mutton, and the guardsman for his butt. Little does the lady care what all these guardsmen know, that bandits ambush caravans that on these trade roads go. With tricks and clever traps and all that men may do, they always seem to know which ones are false and true. Three things are most perilous: the shake that walks behind, the ice that will not hold you, and the spy you cannot find. The bandit screaming charge the pack train on his prize, and all but four within are taken by surprise, and all but four are cut down as a woodsman fells a log. The guardsman and the lady, and the maiden and the dog. Three things hold the secret: lady riding in a dream, the dog that sounds no warning, and the maiden. Then off the lady throws her cloak, in armor she is clad, her sword is out and ready, and her eyes are fierce and glad. The maiden makes a gesture, and the dogs occur no more. A wolf, a sword maid, a sorceress, now face the battle. Three things do not anger, or you will not live for long: a man with power, a wolf with cubs, or a woman with sublime. The lady and her sister, by a single traitor alone, were hired out to set a trap all of their own. And the only ones that knew were the two who rode that day. For what you do not know, you cannot give away. Three things it is better that only two should know: where treasure's hid, who shares your bed, how to catch your foe. The bandits growl a challenge, the lady only grins. The sorcerer spouse mockingly, and then the fight begins. And in the end only four stand from that horde: the witch, the wolf, the traitor, and the woman with the sword. Three things do not trust thee: the woman who says she is pure, the vows of a man, and the ambush that is sure. They strip the traitor naked and they whip him on his way into the barren hills like the folks he used to slay. What of all the maidens he despoiled and slew? Why, in revenge, the sorceress made him a woman too. Three things always trusted: the horse upon which you ride, the dog which guards your sleeping, and your sister at your side.
Came to me one evening as I was sitting at the kitchen table trying to convince myself to seek my couch. I call it a fighter's prayer. As I go off to war in foreign lands, my thoughts are turned to honor and respect. As I put on my helm, take sword in hand, I take an oath, no ideals I'll reject. My loyalty is given to a star with 5 great points and 5 of lesser size. Upon a field of gold, this sable star adorns my breast, so all will recognize. A lady's favor rests beside my sword to symbolize the reason why I fight. With gentle smile and lips that say, my lord, a lady makes this beltless one a knight. O Father God who guards the warrior king, make strong my arm, keep my honor clean.
It was found with Beowulf and it is entitled Judas. It's about a young Jewish woman who leads an army against an invading army in her land. But the leader of this invading army, Holofernes, wanted Judith and wanted to take her maidenhood and had her brought to his camp. And this piece that I'm doing is as she is brought to his tent. And just shortly thereafter. The highest and best judge straight dowered her with daring, as each one he doth of those dwelling here who seek for his help with reason and right faith. Her spirit grew roomy, to the holy new hope came. She seized then the heathen hard by the hair, and with her hands she there haled him towards her, the treacherous man. Laid him along the bulk unlovely, as she most meetly the wretch could manage the woeful one wheel. Then did the wavy-haired smite the foeman with flashing sword, the hostile-minded, and his head was halfway sundered. And swooning, was dire wounded and drunken. Not yet was he dead. Bereft of his soul, again she smote the heathen hound, till his head rolled forth on the floor. The body so foul lay lifeless behind, but the soul sped away, sank beneath the abyss, and there was abased. Ever thereafter, pinion with it hanged, bewound by serpent, bound by torment, fastened firm the flaming of hell. Since hence he removed. Nor may he hope ever to evade from that vault of vipers, but drowned in darkness there shall dwell ever after, in that black abode bereft of bliss. By fight there gained she glory renowned, by stoutness of heart, as God vouchsafed her, guardian of paradise, granting her. We met our chaplain Joshua the Good. He taught me a small song, and in it, scribbled in the margin, this was years old, going back to the dates of which William the Conqueror, or the Bastard, as who would be, had been around. And in the corner in Latin was this poem, and I bothered him until he would translate it for me. And I find it to be of interest, though I'm sure of not anything appropriate for this godly season. Before time, by lovely waters wane, this lovely body I put on. In life I was a stately swan. Ah me, now browned and basted thoroughly. Once I was whiter than the snow, no lovelier bird than earth could show. Now I'm blacker than the coal. Ah me, oh would I could, with that plumage fluffing, on cool steal the cool wind sloughing, rather than be burst with pepper stuffing. Ah me, now the cook turns me around and turns me, next the hurrying waiter concerns me. Oh, how much this fire, it burns me. Ah me, now I'm put upon a platter, I cannot fly. Oh, what's the matter? Lights flash, teeth clash, I fear the ladder. Ouch, ouch, ah me.
Spurs in the carnage of creek, the oars swept the waves in the swirl, as Olaf the Scald was seeking that away with the child of the earl. The castle was wrapped in commotion. The warriors flashed down to the fjord. The ships were all thrust into the ocean. The earl and his men were on board. Sails were tossed up. Long ships over the billows were down. Sails were tossed out to the breeze. The oars to the billows were glancing as spray was tossed up to the seas. Far ahead on the foam crest of the water, a longship got down with her tide. On board was the Earl Beelow's daughter, with Olaf the Scald at her side. She trembled and clung to his shoulder. For her father's fierce anger she feared. The arms of her lover imposed him, and his voice was with love in her ear. Now seaward he anxiously gazes. He leans on the hilt of his sword. Glistening blade he upraises and points to the mouth of the floor. The waves of the ocean are foaming on a boom that is barring their way. His warriors gaze long through the gloomy and then sternly prepare for the fray. For behind them the own ships on speed go down with the freshening blast. The Earl and the dragon is leading. He gains on the fugitives fast. But Olaf the Scald never glances. As he cries with a smile on his lips, 2 oarsmen to each of the benches, the rest to the stern of the ship. Now her prow rises clear of the bellows, while her stern, the sea is sunk deep. The stout ashen oars bend like willows, and she makes it to full.
Whoa!
Now only she grates to the surges, the whole of her keel is laid bare, and out of the wave she emerges. For a moment she takes hold of the air. Then quickly the ballast is shifted. Seamen down swift to the fore. Quiver she remains uplifted, and seaward she slowly goes o'er. Until moving swifter and swifter, down the boom to the bellows she slides. The waves sweep up foaming to lift her, and into the ocean she glides. Now northward and seaward she dances, into the gathering gloom. As the Earl around the headland advances, and makes for the ships at the boom. But his longships all fail to leap over, and long ere they hew it in twain, darkness enshrouds the sea rover as he skates over the length plain. Now shrilly the wind whistles over, while beneath the waves with curl, as he sails with the wide world before him, and beside him, the child of the Earl.
When first she caught my eye, and I but a marching soldier, she smiled as I went by. The flowers she held were fresh and fair, her lips were full and red, and as I passed the treading path, these words to me she said. Last night we spoke of love, now we're forced to part. You leave to the sound of the marching drum and the beat of a lover's heart. It was by the shore next evening when next I saw my dear, running barefoot by the waterside. She called as I drew near. The sunlight glanced upon the water, making fire in her auburn hair. My young heart danced to her parting words that hung in the evening air. Last night we spoke of love, now we're forced to part. You leave the sound of the marching drum and the beat of a lover's heart. She was on the strand next morning when orders came to sail, and we slipped our ropes away, my lads, and I watched her from the rail. She found a rose that fell between us and drifted on the bay, and as the sails were filled with wind, these words now we're forced to part. You live to the beat of the marching drum, beat of the lover's heart. Now a soldier's life won't suit me, for music is my trade, and I'd rather melt the hardest heart than pierce it with a blade. Let the time be short till I'm back again to my home in the north of Skye, and the darling girl who stole my heart with these words as I passed her by. Last night we spoke of love, now we're forced to part. You leave to the beat of the marching drum, the beat of a lover's heart.
Mournful, sad, dreary peace. And then I was reminded of a challenge that was made to me to learn a song and perform it today. And after seeing the great fighting and the brave fighters, how can I turn down a challenge? Moriel, I accept your challenge. My lord, this is for you. This song is for Dan the Piper. Mr. Ian, it is especially for you. The Scotsman clad in kilt left thee in one evening fair. One could tell by how he walked that he drank more than he shared. He fumbled round until he could no longer keep his feet. Then he stumbled off into the grass to sleep beside the street. Ring-ding-diddle-diddle-ideo, ring-di-diddle-yo. Stumbled off into the grass to sleep beside the street. About that time, two young and lovely maidens happened by. One said to the other with a twinkle in her eye, "See young sleeping Scotsman, so strong and handsome built. I wonder if it's true what they don't wear beneath the kilt. Ring-diddle-diddle-ideo, ring-di-diddle-yo. I wonder if it's true what they don't wear beneath the kilt." Picked up on sleeping Scotsman, quiet as could be. Lifted up his kilt about an inch so they could see. And there, behold, for them to view beneath his Scottish skirt was nothing more than God had graced him with upon his birth. Ring-ding-diddle-diddle-ideo, ring-di-diddle-yo. Nothing more than God had graced him with upon his birth. They marveled for a moment, then one said, "We must be gone. Let's leave a present for our friend before we move along." As a gift they left a blue silk ribbon tied into a bow. Around the bonny star the Scots kilt did lift and show. A ring-ding-diddle-diddle-ideo, ring-di-diddle-yo. Around the bonny star the Scots kilt did lift and show. The Scotsman woke to nature's call and stumbled for the trees. Behind the bush he lifts his kilt and gawks at what he sees. And in a startled voice he says to what's before his eyes, "Oh lad, I don't know where you've been, but I see you won first prize." Oh lad, I don't know where you've been, but I see you won first prize.
A little song that I kind of put together. I've been trying to work at farting for a while, but I'm scared to death, so I'm going to do it anyway. It's called The Sky Above the Roof. The sky above the roof is calm and sweet. A tree above the roof bends in the heat. A pearl from out the blue draws a lead rain. A bell from out the blue plaintively sing. Oh God, what life is here, simple and fair. Murmurs of strife are here, lost in the air.
Whether she would like to have smiles or have tears.
I love to have smiles like that.
Ah, all right, good. Hope you all enjoy this. I didn't write this one, but I think that you'll all enjoy it. Oh, pray, gentle maiden, will you be my lover? Condemn me no longer to mourn or to weep. My heart it is breaking, condemn me no longer. Oh, undo your drawbridge and I'll enter your keep.
I'll enter your keep, nonny, nonny, into your keep, nonny, nonny. Undo your drawbridge and I'll enter your keep. Well, thank you, kind sir, but I am no maiden. I'm the wife of Sir Oswald, that cunning old Celt. He's off to the wars for 10 years or longer, and he's taken the key to me chastity belt. Chastity belt, nonny, nonny, chastity belt, nonny, nonny, taken the key to me chastity belt. Well, fear not, gentle maid, for I know a locksmith. He lives in the town, let us visit his shop. He's good at his craft, and locks pulls him no problem. Oh, let us discover if he can unpick your lock. Oh, unpick your lock, nonny, nonny, unpick your lock, nonny, nonny. Let us discover if he can unpick your lock. Well, kind sir, gentle maid, I must speak of sorrow. All my worth, all my craft, to no avail. That old Oswald, he had a head on his shoulders. He old Celt, he has fitted a Yale. Oh, he's fitted a Yale, nonny, nonny, fitted a Yale, nonny, nonny. Cunning old Celt, he has fitted a Yale. Well, I'm back from the wars with news of disaster, said Sir Oswald, whose ship had come in with the tide. Well, me craft, it was passing through the Straits of Gibraltar. I must carelessly drop the key over the side. Over the side, nonny, nonny, over the side, nonny, nonny. Carelessly drop the key over the side. Then alas, and alack, I'm trapped here forever. When up spoke the page boy, fear not, said he. If my lady will allow me to retire to her chambers once more, I will undo the lock with me duplicate key. Key, nonny, nonny, duplicate key, nonny, nonny. Undo the lock with me duplicate key. Thank you.
Of a great quest taken by Lady Isabel and I quite recently. A merchant from France and a siege engineer and a bearded blonde Prussian fellow. They packed up their goods in a battered old cart and caravanned off to Estrella. Toward the sunset in their wagon they went, where the gossip said war was expected. To make a fair profit by sail and by sword, and see our realms on earth protected. So sing ye a song of the profits of war, and the value of coins that are yellow. And sing of the valor of fighters afield, as the black star unfurls at Estrella. The Prussian fell ill with the malady strange that baffled the healers intensely. And Isabel's wagon to Cartwright was sent to strengthen its framework immensely. They left a bit later than called for by plan, when Thursday's dawn brought them a snowfall. But wagon was fixed and the roadway was clear, and departure was well before nightfall. So sing ye a song of the profits of war, and the value of coins that are yellow. And sing of the valor of fighters afield, as the black star unfurls at Estrella. They passed through the outlands with proper dispatch to the land of the sun in its splendor. And soon the encampment was pitched at the side by the lady and her two defenders. They went to their couches as soon as they could, for battle began on the morrow. When Aytenfeld fighters met those from Caid, and the widows would wail out in sorrow. So sing ye a song of the profits of war, and the value of coins that are yellow. And sing of the valor of fighters afield, as the black star unfurled at Estrella. The Saturday battles went Aytenfeld's way, and Jonathan battled with Sheenai. The merchant and Prussian made sail after sail, and 10-crowned heads they did watch eye. The sun slew more fighters than either side's sword, though water did flow in great measure. And later that evening the bards did perform to add to the gentlefolk pleasure. So sing ye a song of the profits of war and the value of coins that are yellow. And sing of the valor of fighters afield as the black star unfurls at Estrella. The merchant from France and the siege engineer and the bearded blondie's Prussian fellow. They packed up their goods in their battered old cart and wearily left from Estrella. Toward their homeland in their wagon they went, where the calendar said they were needed. With memories pleasant of Aitenveld's climb and misfortunes behind them receded. So sing ye a song of the profits of war and the value of coins that are yellow. And sing of the valor of fighters afield as the black star unfurls at Estrella.
Called The Tiring Maid. I am a lowly tiring maid and happy with me skill. I'll always do my very best to do my lady's will. For I've a mistress fair of face and knows quite well her worth. She has more clothes than anyone else on God's green holy earth. Another gown, another hat. Now lace me up, now tie my shoes. Now what do you think of that? Alas, alas, oh I shall die, but this will never do. So go into the closet and bring me something new. Lady never could attend a party or a ball. She could never quite decide which gown to wear at all. But then one day she met a man from whom she'd never stray, and I did not look forward to her wedding day. Another gown, another hat. Now lace me up, now tie my shoes, now what do you think of that? Alas, alas, oh I shall die, but this will never do. So go into the closet and bring me something new. Yes, we're all assembled to celebrate the day. All were decked with flowers and the lutes began to play. But I was in the closet which was strewn from hither to yon with piles and piles of gowns my lady had put on. Another gown, another hat. Now lace me up, now tie my shoes, now what do you think of that? Alas, alas, oh I shall die, but this will never do. So go into the closet and bring me something new. The lute began to falter and the crowd began to groan. So my lady sent me down to see if I could stop the moan. I'm really very sorry, my lady bid me say, but the bride cannot decide which gown to be married in today. Another gown, another hat. Now lace me up, now tie my shoes, now what do you think of that? Alas, alas, oh I shall die, for this will never do. Go into the closet and bring me something new. The bridegroom was a handsome man and saddened by his fate, for he would not with such a one as his prospective mate. But then he came and took my hand and said, be not afraid, for I shall drop the lady and wed the tiring maid. Another hat. Now lace me up, now tie my shoes, now what do you think of that? Oh, I cannot find the tiring maid. Oh, this will never do. So I'll go into the closet and I'll find me something new.
There came a horse at great speed. Sorrow, sorrow, great is your sorrow at the news I bring today. Have they taken my lord and my gold? Have they taken my lady bride? Have they stolen my son so bright? What have they done to threaten my life? They have taken your land and your gold. They have taken your lady bride. They have stolen your son so bright. But more than that, to threaten your life, they have taken your horse and wife. They have taken your stallion blood. They have taken one and all. Now your house will surely fall. I could find another wife. I can beget sons in the dark of night, but where can I find horses like those? Gentle as kittens, fierce to my foe. As Sir Stephen said it is me, there came a death horse at great speed. Sorrow, sorrow.
The idea of passing things on from father to son. The tale begins with this. A son, who yet has a son who's but a babe in a cradle, was contemplating the fate of his father, for his father was old and gray and no longer able to fight or maintain his home. He was good for nothing but to eat and to drink. He had finally decided he was going to cast his father out, and his wife had begged him to let him go with at least a full blanket. Not to cast him away with half a blanket as the son had planned, but to let him go with a full blanket to keep him warm at night, at least in the few days he had left. And they were arguing back and forth, and a voice come from the cradle, from a babe who was yet too young to speak. And the voice said thus, "Father, you can cast your father out with but half a blanket, but save the other half well away. For when your turn comes, I'll have need of it." And the father thought upon this, and he kept his father well and warm for the rest of his days.
Great sons and 3 daughters born to my mother. But she did not live to see the last one. For in her bed, giving birth, she died, and death came to her. And with her the babe that she birthed, that lived for not much more than months, it died too. So that left us only 6. 6 scrapping sons and daughters raised up. One broke his leg and died of gangrene. One caught a disease that made him cough all night. A sister died when she was in the blush of youth, of something we could not see, her skin turned yellow. And there she was. And there was so much beauty. Each one dying by the will of God, until only me and my brother. And he was great and strong, and fair like the sun. Cuchulainn could not have equaled him. And into the wars he went. And he died. But he died with the flashing of a great sword over his head, and the death of his enemies at his feet. And to this day, the ballad his life. And his weed lies under. So I say this, you must die. Let me die with you.
You can come help. And you, my lord, the Kilton, can help, and you, who gave me the lovely token. Can you even more? Okay. This story is called I Saw a Dragon. Now, I have had the good fortune to tell this before many crowns and several bardic circles, and Moriel, I'll pinch you. It's quite an interesting story, but you all have to help me tell it. Hamish, if you would stand right over here next to me, and this young lady right next to Hamish. Right here. Right here. You right here. Right here. Right here. It's very easy to do. I will say, Hamish.
Yes.
Yes, Alex.
Yes, Alex.
I saw a dragon. And you'll say, where? And
Where?
I will say, over there. And then you will do the same thing to this young lady. Who will do the same thing to you? Who will do the same thing to you, you Grace? Who will do the same thing to you? Who will do the same thing to you? And then you would say, Alex. And I'll say, yes. And you say, I saw a dragon. And we start all over again. All you have to do is do the same thing I do. That's all. Very easy. Fun story.
Have everybody introduced themselves?
Yes. Hamish.
Yes, Alex.
I saw a dragon.
Where?
Over there.
Heidi,
What?
I saw a dragon.
Where?
Over there.
Uppy, I saw a dragon.
Where?
Over there.
Other arm.
Over there.
Precious Willow, I saw a dragon.
Where?
Over there.
Other arm.
I saw a dragon.
Where?
Over there.
Joffrey, I saw a dragon.
Where?
Over there.
Alex!
Hello.
I saw a dragon.
Where?
Over there.
Hey, Mish.
Yes, Alex?
Guess what?
What?
I saw another dragon. Over there.
Heidi?
What?
Guess what?
What?
I saw another dragon.
Where?
Over there.
Hey. Elton, I saw a dragon.
Where?
Over there.
Precious Willow, I saw a dragon. Over there.
Stephen, I saw another dragon. Over there.
Joffrey, there's another dragon. Over there.
Alex!
Hello.
There's another dragon.
Where?
Over there.
Hey, Mish.
Yes, Alex.
Guess what?
What?
There's another dragon.
Where?
Down there. Right me.
Okay. Watch Hamish fall on butt. Heidi! Guess what?
What?
I saw another dragon.
Where?
Over there.
Elton, I saw a dragon.
Where?
Down there.
Precious Willow, I saw another dragon.
Where?
Down there.
Stephen, I saw another dragon.
Where?
Down there.
Joffrey, there's another dragon.
Where?
Down there.
Alex!
Hello.
I saw another dragon.
Where?
Down here.
Hey, Mish.
Yes, Alex?
Hi.
Another dragon?
720.
Down there, huh?
No.
No?
No.
Where?
Over there.
Come on, you.
And the dragon is protecting the princess as usual. So, and the princess every day is yelling, "Help me, help me, help me," to young princess. And they come to save her, but they never succeed. And then her mother was down there with her, and the mother said, "Why do you keep luring young knights to come and save you? They never succeed." The princess said, "You know the dragon likes canned food."
Fa-la-la in the garden, I fa-la-la in the glen. I carry down under the willow tree and fa-la-la once again. I carry down under the willow tree and fa-la-la once again. Da-da-da-da. Whoops. What's the next verse, Will? Him tugging at his conscience. Oh, yes. He gave me a wink in the hall this morning as I tossed my kerchief there. He napped it and yanking his cuff, he slipped, he tucked the cloth in there. He napped it and yanking his cuff, he slipped, he tucked the cloth in there. Methinks he'll fa-la-la in the garden, he'll tra-la-la in the glen. He'll bury down under the willow tree and fa-la-la once again. He'll bury down under the willow tree and fa-la-la once again. Da-da-da-da. When day was done, Priestess Zora left the hall for bed. And Sarah Clemens went winsome lad, and this is what he said. And Sarah Clemens went winsome lad, and this is what he said. We a fa-la-la in the garden, we fa-la-la in the glen. We a bury down under the willow tree and fa-la-la once again. We a bury down under the willow tree and fa-la-la once again. Da-da-da-da. That is why, my ladies, I am so spent and sore. For though I serve you well, my dear, I'll be a maid no more. For though I serve you well, my dear, a maiden I'll be no more. For I fa-la-la in the garden, and I fa-la-la in the glen. I bury down to the willow tree and fa-la-la once again. I bury down
rattling bog, in the bog down in the valley-o. Well, in that bog there was a tree, a rare tree, and a rattling tree. Tree in the bog is a tree in the bog, and the bog down in the valley-o. Hey-ho, the rattling bog, and the bog down in the valley-o. Hey-ho, the rattling bog, and the bog down in the valley-o. Well, on that tree there was a bough, a rare bough, and a rattling bough. Bough on the tree in the bog, and the bog down in the valley-o. Hey-ho, the rattling bog, and the bog down in the valley-o. Hey-ho, the rattling bog, and the bog down in the valley-o. Well, on that bough there was a limb, a rare limb, and a rattling limb. A limb on the bough, and the bough on the tree in the bog, and the bog down in the valley-o. Hey-ho, the rattling bog, and the bog down in the valley-o. Hey-ho, the rattling bog, and the bog down in the valley-o. Well, on that limb there was a branch, a rare branch, and a rattling branch. A branch on the limb, and the limb on the bough, and the bough on the tree in the bog, and the bog down in the valley-o. Hey-ho, the rattling bog, and the bog down in the valley-o. Hey-ho, the rattling bog, and the bog down in the valley-o. Well, on that branch there was a twig, a rare twig, and a rattling twig. Twig on the branch, and the branch on the limb, and the limb on the bough, and the bough on the tree in the bog, and the bog down in the valley-o. Hey-ho, the rattling bog, and the bog down in the valley-o. Hey-ho, the rattling bog, and the bog down in the valley-o. Well, on that twig there were some leaves, some rare leaves, and some rattling leaves. The leaves on the twig, and the twig on the branch, and the branch on the limb, and the limb on the bough, and the bough on the tree in the bog, and the bog down in the valley-o. Hey-ho, the rattling bog, and the bog down in the valley-o. Hey-ho, the rattling bog, and the bog down in the valley-o. Well, in those leaves there was a nest, a rare nest, and a rattling nest. Nest in the leaves, and the leaves on the twig, and the twig on the branch, and the branch on the limb, and the limb on the bough, and the bough on the tree in the bog, and the bog down in the valley-o. Hey-ho, the rattling bog, and the bog down in the valley-o. Hey-ho, the rattling bog.
Hey, Kiefer, do you want to do best pros?
Yeah, let's see, that was,
oh, who was that? The little guy.
Little guy.
Yeah. Little guy, he fit in the pouch, yeah. That's,
Here.
See, Tad? Best pro.
Very entertaining story.
Very
You look good as an old, decrepit Viking farmer.
It fits the age, but you're catching up.
But I'll never make it.
I know.
Okay.
Let's see what we'll do next. Yep.
Poem.
Best poem.
I did that.
Yeah, right.
I made that pouch.
Oh, okay.
I made the song. You laced it, yeah. He made it.
That's it.
We laced it.
I was right.
Oh.
Touch his glove.
Yeah, do that song.
Well, best song was Tough. And we came to a split decision, basically.
Nobody gets it.
Nobody gets it. There was two people that very well impressed us, and we only have one prize, so we got two prizes for two people. Please.
You can sit, talk, and I'll walk.
Lady Kalita gets the pouch. Hey! She's coming this way now.
Just for your wonderful song. Oh, thank you.
And Alton.
For your wonderful song.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Now, before I award the prize for the title bard, let me get all the paraphernalia here. You will.
That was a ton of silver hit my foot there, lady.
We have the former brooch, which we had for the title bard of Middleford, which we would like to redesign for the title bard. If they would consult with Sir Ian, he will do some of his wonderful jewelry and redesign a beautiful brooch for this person. And I award gladly the device of the Shire of Middleford for the title bard to put upon her sash, Lady Alice. Yes.
fair, in woods and hills and lurking in their lair. And when you go where for sport or deer, don't fail to carry you your stout boar spear. The king's own man in all he did and said, his father told him, follow where your monarch's led. The man he is and his fault you see, God gave him rule over me and thee. The king had ridden out of winter's door to hunt for deer with all his knights fourscore. His horses' hoofs crunched loudly through the snow, and where his king rode, there Macbeth did go. Both king and horsemen heedless down the track, leaving the knights and squires a good ways back. Wet sleeves and snow and ice did all conspire to slide both king and mountain to the mire. A great tusked boar ran from the forest green, just as Macbeth came riding to the scene. He jumped down quick and threw down his targe, and braced with spear to meet the gruesome charge. The spear lay shattered, and the boar lay dead, and good King William raised his muddy head, and shouted loud so that all could hear, God save Macbeth and his stout boar spear.
Mrs. to William. Unto my lord husband, greetings I send. First, sad news I fear I must tell. Squire Woolston, your lifelong old friend, has recently succumbed to dark death's knell. He died quietly in his sleep. His poor widow did not know until morn. Now I pray the Lord his soul in peace. I know you must feel forlorn. Happier tidings I have now for you. It appears the crops will be rich this year, and even more lambs meadow you. Will be a good harvest this fall, my dear. There was a problem with the south curtain wall. Some of the stones had crumbled away. The mason said it would be repaired by fall. They started work this very day. Our children continue very well. Dear Bess has given us yet another grandson. Mary in her convent has taken the veil, and finally Stephen's studies are done. Our eldest William, named after you, and his wife Anne do fare very well. He keeps our lands as well as you could do, and practices rigorously on the plow. For hence we have heard of a possible war. Hence we hope will prove wise. But we have no taste for more. We are truly tired of war's hated cry. How much time has passed since you rode the war with your squires proudly behind you? That call to arms took you away so far, much farther than we ever knew. I look in the mirror at a woman grown old. I know you would not recognize me. My hair is now more silver than gold, and wrinkles where none used to be. But in the window of my mind's eye, I see the vibrant man you were, with your chestnut hair all afly, and that smile that did oft occur. I can feel your beard against my neck, as sleeping entwined we did lie, two lovers planning a lifelong trek. How high did our hopes fly? The cruel war destroyed our high hopes and shattered most of our dreams. I never was one that easily copes. I still wait to keep with my screams. It has been a long, sad life, fraught with pain and fears, for I have been a lonely wife all these 20 years. But no other man has touched my heart or slept within our bed. Always faithful to you from the very start, I have remained to you truly wed. Alone I raised your daughters and sons and tended to our land. Alone I did what has to be done, left us all in William's hands. My love, each year on this date I write to you of my life, where I have been taken by heedless fate. Always your absence is sharp as a knife. But next year, I know I will be in your arms, never alone or sad again, with no more fears or threatened harms, eager for forever to begin. For the healer says I will not live to see another spring. My remaining days I would gladly give to hasten the release death will bring. I yearn for the day when this body I will shed, and I rise up into the light, rejoined with you, now 20 years dead. God's mercy at last on my fight. Darling William, husband mine, the This missive I will now end. Anne calls it is time to dine. Then there are Stephen's shirts to mend. But it will not be much longer until I meet you at Peter's gate. That simple thought alone makes me much stronger. For now, as always, your beloved Kate.
The song the boy sang has a very interesting tale to it. You see, it was William the Lion, the King of Scotland, who found himself fell beneath his horse in the path of a rampant boar. And it was my father who spared William's life by jumping between the fallen king and this rampant boar. It so happened that the winter had been hard. And the fall harvest hadn't been that well taken. The peasants hoarded their more than their usual allowance. And as winter came and came to its dead, dark night, well, food got scarce. And in the castle, the servants went without so that the gentry and the nobility could eat. And one day, my father said, "Lads, we'll be going to hunting tomorrow. This has got to stop. We have to eat. The servants have to eat. The animals are suffering." And that was what we did. And the first day we went out with hawk, we found nothing, not scarcely a hare. And the second day we went out with hounds and chased the deer. Not even a doe to be found. And the third day my father said, "We'll ride to the king's castle. For the king knows where there's boar that we may hunt." And that's what we did. And being just a wee lad, I mounted my palfrey, and father was on his hunting horse, and we rode off, and it was so bitter cold. Those of you that spent last night can understand. Boy. And we went to meet King William. And William spoke with my father, and they agreed. In fact, they asked if we would mind accompanying them on a hunt. And that we did. And the beaters went through the woods, and the huntsmen were back, and the hounds were loosed. And soon you heard the hounds cry out. No! We knew we had game. And my father, being a great horseman, sped out ahead of the pack. But William the Lion, being better, surpassed my father and disappeared into the woods. And William, on his great horse, broke into a clearing. And there, at the other side, was a great black boar with a silver streak down his back, ancient of days. Tusks as a Saracen's dagger. And the boar charged William's horse and slew him where he stood. And the horse fell, and William's leg was trapped beneath him. And the boar circled around, returned to his side of the clearing, and stood there looking at William, struggling to get out from under his horse, pawing the ground and snorting, preparing to charge again and finish the king. And my father broke the clearing. And he saw the boar, and he saw the trapped king, and he jumped from his horse and stood between the boar and the fallen king. And the boar charged. And father planted the butt of his spear. And when he did, the boar came upon him. He hit the spear, and the haft broke. And the boar kept coming. Father staggered back, drew the dirk from his belt, and the boar was upon him. And father, by his own hand, with naught but his dirk, slew the boar, thus saving the King of Scotland's life. Henceforth, you ever see any baird anywhere, you'll see the boar upon the banner, upon the shield, for that was our gift.
And there was a battle going on today in Central Texas, and it was all in the name of courage and honor. Newswatch 6 reporter Brooke Bulow takes us to the medieval clash in this report.
Ladies and gentlemen have been preparing all morning for the battle at the make-believe Middlefordshire. And this contest for courage and honor for women and the weak is for real.
No, we're not pretending at all. It's a full contact sport.
Gentlemen and ladies, in the name of honor and chivalry, lay on!
And these medieval folks really mean business. Bruises and broken fingers are part of the game. These medieval weekends are hosted by the Society for Creative Anachronism. Every few months, the groups go back in time for food, fun, and festivities. Although this fighting looks like make-believe, it's actually a way for these people to keep medieval values alive. Pitting warrior against warrior is a way to protect chivalry and honor, two values many people here agree are missing from the real world.
If everyone was a bit more chivalrous and a bit more honorable in their business and everyday dealings, we wouldn't have quite so many problems. It is, of course, not a panacea, but it is something to think about.
Victory goes to those who fight both-handed.
And these folks play fair. Here, the best man wins the game.
I think we fought like heroes. And I definitely think that in the matter of showing that right wins, and of course we must have been being the greatest, we were right.
And even the losers come out ahead in the medieval clash.
Being a casualty is part of winning and losing. And what we do here, at least the casualties get to get up and walk away with the victors.
And that's something you just can't beat back here in the real world. Brooke Bulow, Newswatch 6 at Middlefordshire.
Bruce.